So we possibly should have realised when we arrived at the start of the tramp, and we queried about this hut with two other trampers that were at the start. Well, we need to bring a tent because we were worried other people might be here. And they replied, don't worry, there'll be no one there. And then Graham, the farmer, whose land we have to walk through to start off with, turned up. And I said, do you think we'll need to bring a tent in case there's other people there? And he said, no, don't worry, there'll be no one else there. And he was right, there is no one else there. Welcome back to Sam and Kev's Outdoor Adventures. So it's just Sam and I again. We're straight out of lockdown, and today we're heading up to Kahutara Valley in the Clarence Reserve area.
Right, yes, lovely to be out. We're about half an hour in to the start of the walk. We've probably got a pretty big day ahead of us, probably about 5 to 6 hours, and we've got about 1,300 metres vertically to climb up and over, and then drop down to the biv on the other side. Right, we're just at the high point between Bushy Saddle and Blind Saddle. We've climbed about 900 metres vertically, and we've been walking for about 2 hours up the track. You can see we've been treated by a stunning day. Lovely weather and lovely views out towards the Kaikoura coastline.
We've made up to Blind Saddle. We've gone for just a fraction under 3 hours to get to here. So from here we carry on for about 700 metres, and then we go off track. So we'll see when we get to that point. There's been absolutely no water sources up here so far, so reverting back to the icy pop cool drink.
Okay, so we're about 700 metres along the track from Blind Saddle. We're about 1,200 metres above sea level vertically, and this is where we're going to leave the main track, and we're going to make our way over to Kahutara Valley. So behind me you'll see we've got about 150 metre vertical climb up to point 1354. We're going to climb up there now, and then we're going to drop down the other side, and if you just look at the wedge on that topo map, that'll show you where the turn-off is. There is also a marker post here, but it's not that obvious where the turn-off is.
So up here on the saddle is a home to one of my most disliked plants. Very sharp on the end of it, and many trampers will have enjoyed the wrath of this plant as they go past. Also, we've got up here the black-eyed gecko, the Kahutara lizard, New Zealand's only alpine-based lizard. So that's pretty cool. Highly unlikely we'll see any though, because there's not many around. Just got to traverse over this gravel screen. Surely nothing will go wrong.
Right, we've made it up to point 1354. This is the high point of day one. We've got about 650 metres descent now down to Kahutara Valley, and looking like a pretty rocky, ridgy ridgeline that we'll have to follow down, so it should be interesting, but we'll have to be very careful. So this is the way we've just come down, a bit of scree. It's pretty steep, probably steeper than it looks on camera, but it's not too bad. Right, so we found a marker pole. Most of this part of the trip that we're on is untracked or unmarked. So as we made our way down from point 1354 towards point 963, but we have spotted this lone marker pole, and we've seen another one up in the distance, so we've just come back over to this. There's not many of these, so if you're coming this way you definitely want to look out for it. And we have marked it on a topo map just to show you where this particular one is, so you know you're on the right track. Right, so we've got marker point number 1 here. So to get to this, when you get to the top of point 1354, just look, I guess, in a north direction along the ridge. You've got to come along the ridge just a little bit and you'll see this. And then from here you can see marker 2 and so on. This is number 2. So number 1 and 2, we actually missed on the way down. But behind me you can see numbers, well, you probably can't see it, but they're in the distance, markers 3 and 4. We did find those, so we found the right route on the way. But the way we went, which I probably wouldn't recommend unless you're really keen, was straight across the rocky ridge top, which is a little bit sketchy. It's reasonably safe, but I'd recommend sticking to the markers and keeping a good eye out for them.
We're about halfway down. We've peeled off the ridge now to the one that goes to point 953, and we're heading in a slightly more southerly direction. So we've got dead on 5 hours since we've left so far, and I think we've probably still got about another hour to go. Here's our first side of the biv. Tempting is to go there in a straight line. We're going to head out slightly to the right down the spur and then cut back in. So we've made it down the southern point and we're just about to head into the bivvy. So this is marked by a little bit of a rock cairn, and then from here onwards into the biv it's quite well taped. This is some work done by Honora Renwick and her partner Frank King, and they've done a great job, and they also provide the route guide on how to get in here, and I'll provide a link to that down below in the description.
So we are pretty much there, I think. 5 hours and 40 minutes coming around the last bend, and there she is. Quick tour of the hut. So we've got the 2 bunks in there, really good bench, some cupboards. Nice wee window at the back.
So we've had very few people come to this hut. Hut book started on the 6th of February 1998 when AB Cross from Nelson came, and in the intervening 24 years we have had 7 pages filled out with 70 parties, with Sam and I being the 70th party to come here, so about 3 parties a year, very rarely visited.
Right, so that brings us to the end of our trip to Kahutara Biv. We're just going to start making our way back out today. This is an awesome biv and a great day out. You can easily do this trip in a weekend, and it can be safely done as well. There's a route guide that really should be followed, but if you stick to that, it's a great spot, and I thoroughly recommend people coming to check it out.
Also very handy in bad weather. It's probably the one place, if you know bad weather's coming through the South Island, that the Clarence Reserve is one place that will still have pretty good weather. So if you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you would like to see some more, hit subscribe, and Sam and I will see you next time we're out.